You got that intro after another couple of weeks. Hello.
Welcome.
Monday, December 13th, and the 80th episode of the EriDan Film Festival.
And the 100th film.
It is our 100th film.
So have a drink, grab one, have a sip.
We're going to do some interesting discussions about the films that we've watched. And we're going to talk about our 100th film, which is Love Actually.
Yes, and we have a few surprises. Apparently, Eric has a big surprise, and I have a big surprise.
No, I never said it was a big surprise.
Oh, mine's huge.
Really?
I think I might have outdone ourselves. What's that?
Are you retiring? Is that
no, it's not news. It's a gift for our 100th episode.
Gift.
It's a gift.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of gifts,
I'm excited.
Before we do that, if you want to be a guest,
yes, this is very important because we're hoping that you're watching us now live. I mean, you can watch it later, which is great. But if you're watching live, you get to join us and actually be in the conversations. Now, you can just be in the comments if you're shy or you're working late for your terrible boss who won't let you get off work at 5. Then you might want to be in the comments. But if you can, EriDanLive.com.
Right, EriDanLive.com. And we'll say it now. We'll say it again later. Next week will be at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, a little
later next week.
Oh, next week. So that's kind of exciting. So join us for conversation and fun. We're going to talk about Love Actually. We're going to pick a movie for next week. We're going to talk about maybe your favorite movie that we've watched over the past year. We'll see if the stats add up to that. So we're going to bring some people in.
Sure.
Let's do it. Cody is here. Cody, our most recent regular joiner to the show, but always the first one to join in the comments.
I just sit here.
We love it. I love that you're so excited and ready to be on the show. I think it's great.
It's fun.
And you were brought in by your favorite writer.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
That's assuming a lot that she's my favorite, but that's okay.
Well, that is
Wade's making a run, okay?
Wade might be making a run for it. No, I'm sorry, no. And coming to us from locations unknown.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
It's Dave.
I'm in the witness protection program.
Miss Dunkin' Donuts.
That's awesome.
That
I
is
figured I was trying to play in a movie reference of some sort.
That is the best in front of bed angle I've ever seen. Way better than Cody's.
Way better than
Oh, please hold.
Oh, he's gonna move it.
He's gonna go put a pink bedspread on now.
Wait.
It's got a little gaming action going on there.
Oh, Halo.
Whoa.
Halo.
That's awesome.
I don't
Are you playing Halo?
No, I don't.
Are you gonna do the Blair Witch I'm Scared angle?
No.
So Dan, this is your movie. It's been a while since you've.
I've not had a movie, and this is, I'm going to say it, other than Back to the Future, probably the only one that will not end up on the third page, and we don't even have a third page
yet. Dan chose Love Actually as his holiday movie choice from 2003, the ultimate romantic comedy, starring way too many people to mention.
It's faster to mention who's not in this movie.
That's probably very true. No Meg Ryan. Directed by and written by Richard Curtis. A budget of $45 million. A gross of $246 million. Critics kind of rough, 64, and the audience giving it a 72. And so, Dan, why Love Actually is your holiday choice for this year?
Well, I decided to go with a romantic comedy. A feel-good movie, if you will. Some people say it's a feel-good movie. Some people say this movie sucks.
What say you?
I say, actually, I love this movie.
I got it.
And by the way, if you do have a beverage, again, it is our 100th. We will be celebrating throughout the day. So I poured myself a martini.
Yeah, you might want to get a beverage. A beverage would be appropriate for this evening.
It's a very dirty
We're
martini.
going to go for at least 100 minutes.
This martini is so dirty.
Oh, how dirty is it?
Well. It is olive juice with a splash of vodka. That's how dirty.
Ew.
It's really not. It's just the olives were very much I don't know. But I wasn't familiar with this movie. I didn't see this until the first time last year.
Wow.
It was actually the first time I saw this movie.
Oh
And I
my!
watched it right after we watched Die Hard. And I was like, wait a minute, that's Alan Rickman.
Okay, I was going to save this for later, but since you just mentioned that,
Yes.
two things regarding this. Is I heard on the radio this morning somebody shared this, and they had stolen it from someone else. Is that if you watch Die Hard immediately after this, you get to see Alan Rickman get what he deserves for cheating on his wife in the first movie.
All right.
And then also, so this is my controversial statement where I think that this is as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard is, because this is again a movie where you could replace this with any other holiday and it could be just the same movie. It could have been a Valentine's Day movie and a Valentine's Day song, and all this stuff could happen at Valentine's Day, and it would pretty much be the same movie.
Well, you could say that about
To a degree, not as much as Die Hard, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a Christmas party going on. So
There was a Christmas party at Die Hard. That's the reason they were at Die Hard.
Yeah, but it could have been. It could have been a get together. Die Hard could have been a company. Hey, we just went public. We're having a huge party.
true.
Or the
Maybe
president's
Amy Turner
retirement
was
party or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
But why would he come out for that? Why
Okay,
would he?
It's a Wonderful Life could also not be a Christmas movie.
It wasn't.
Christmas Story, in theory, could not be a Christmas movie if you made it his birthday. He wanted a Red Ryder gun.
No,
for
A
his
Christmas Story has to be a Christmas movie.
Home Alone could not be a Christmas
Home
movie.
Alone could indeed be a non-Christmas movie. Yes.
Yes. I
So
actually suppose
Dan's comedy show was not a Christmas comedy show, but Adam loved it, but not so much this movie.
Adam's gotten younger,
Where
man.
does his beard go? Yeah.
those are his basketball playing boys.
He
Yeah.
shaved his beard and became two people.
Yes, actually, he's been the two kids on top of each other the entire time
Yeah.
in a trench
You're
coat.
just covering him up.
Nice.
I got
That's
it.
why the
guess
voice
that's
is so
weird.
radio.
Too perfect. That beard was way too perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just think it is a Christmas movie only because it is themed around the
This
holiday.
is definitely a Christmas movie. I
And
love the controversy.
yes, but I do enjoy this movie. I do like romantic comedies. I'm one of the guys that does like them, and I did find there was a lot of humor. There are a couple of things that were like really, and also seeing Andrew Lincoln before the Grateful Dead, that was kind of cool, because you're like, wait a minute, that's the guy from the Grateful Dead. He's British, and Stacy looks confused, like she doesn't even realize it's the same guy.
What guy?
This guy. Hold on, I'll pull up a little picture. Talk amongst yourselves.
Sorry for running away. I needed to drink.
You got a beverage?
I did.
You're talking about the little English kid? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah.
No.
Who's that, the manager?
I think this movie had the highest breast content of any movie we've watched so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that at all. I almost watched this with my mom, and I was like, nah. I'll watch this
Reagan
alone.
did watch it with her mom and dad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad your mom turned you down on that.
Things got in the way. Wait, what?
Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead.
Was in this movie?
Okay,
Yes.
you said Grateful Dead.
He was the guy who with his best friend.
Walking Dead.
You said Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
That's where I recognized him from.
Grateful Dead. And I didn't know
Oh
what you were
my
talking about.
I was like, where's Jerry Garcia in this?
Right?
See him.
I knew I recognized him. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's
Run that train. High
I've
on
never seen
cocaine.
Walking Dead, so I didn't know him.
All right.
Oh, you gotta watch
Who's
that show.
Guy?
Oh, I don't think
I don't
Steve
have to watch
like
it.
The Walking Dead.
It's all right.
It's so good.
That's happening.
Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
That's fine.
Shame. For shame. To the merits.
He's the same guy as this guy. Gee, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible.
I knew I recognized him.
What a difference 15 years makes.
Boom.
That bugged the crap out of me because I knew I recognized him and I didn't know where from, and then I was gonna look it up and then I didn't.
But now you know.
This
And that's
is
what we're here for.
This is my favorite storyline in the movie.
Favorite story.
It's the weirdest storyline.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of weird ones.
I
But
wouldn't say it was weird.
what do you mean? She went and kissed him, and then he was like, "That's good enough for now." I'm like, "What?"
She shouldn't
Right?
have. That was
That's
weird.
the problem that I had with it. Like, I liked it, but it was just kind of like there's not enough to it to make it an actual storyline.
Well, how else could it end?
Her turn him down, or her leave
She
her
did
husband?
turn him down. She gave
No,
him a
they
kiss and
shouldn't have
walked
put it in
away.
the movie at all. It didn't.
Well,
make
she
any
shouldn't have left her
sense to
husband, so
have
that's a good
it.
thing
They
that
had
didn't
too
happen.
many storylines the entire time, and I did like.
They only had 9 storylines.
Yo, when they crossed so many times, I blew up.
But they all
If it would have
came
just
together.
stuck with the original connotation that he was in love with the guy instead of the girl, then it would have worked out.
That's what everybody thought. And then
was the
we have
mystery.
we have this feature now. That's new.
Oh, that is.
That's new.
We can be underneath the picture now instead of on the
Wow,
side.
isn't that fantastic?
Yes.
That makes all the difference.
Yes.
Well, when I play my surprise, you guys will. I think that's
Oh,
a better
it's a
place.
surprise to play. Oh man, we might have done the same thing. All right, go
Oh,
ahead.
God. Who wants to go first? Do you want to do it now, or should we wait till after we do this movie?
And also, I would eat less.
No, I think we should do. Mine definitely should wait.
Okay, mine should too. Then
Who's like, I can eat it now.
Are you gonna play something?
I have something to play.
How long is the thing you have to play?
A little over a minute.
Okay. No, you
They
get-
made the same.
Is it going to get you
exact
kicked off of
thing.
YouTube?
No, it absolutely will not get us kicked off of YouTube.
Mine is going to get us kicked off of YouTube.
Oh,
I think there's a 60% chance that the
yours
people watching the stream will not be able to enjoy the end of mine. But we'll find out later. So we'll
Oh, yeah.
definitely let Ken go first with his.
yeah, you're at the end then. All right, so since we have so much going on, we're already almost 15 minutes in. I think we should just round robin it. We should talk about what you think of the movie. Should we give the score at the same time, or just talk about it first?
Let's just gather some scores. Why not gather some scores and some facts? Unless you have any facts that you wanted to share. Did anybody?
I have a few.
You. Are you sure you have a few?
I don't know if I have 5 or not.
You don't need to find them now.
No, I have them right here. I have them on my look right there.
Oh, I see them now. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, so freaky.
All right, really quickly, knowing about Billy Bob Thornton's quite unusual fear of antique furniture. Did you guys know he had a fear of antique furniture? Hugh Grant would sometimes flash a piece of antique, which is abundant in England, furniture in front of Thornton just before the cameras rolled and watch him freak out in amusement.
That's
I know.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think I would have to do the same thing, actually.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
When casting the part of Sarah, writer and director Richard Curtis auditioned a great many British girls, but kept saying, I just want someone like Laura Linney. And the casting director eventually snapped him and said, oh, for F's sake, get Laura Linney then. So they got Laura Linney.
There you go.
Yeah,
She
sometimes you
seemed
just
out
have
of
to-
place.
Yep.
She seemed out
A
of
little
place.
bit.
I don't know
agree.
who that is, so I don't know.
The redhead.
The redhead, non-British lady in the movie. According to the writer and director Richard Curtis, they had put Dame Emma Thomas in a fat suit to make her appear heavier because she is actually a very thin woman.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson, what did I say? Thomas?
It's
She's
great.
a dame?
Yes.
Grateful Dead.
Really cool.
Yes,
I'm very
from the
impressed.
Grateful
I didn't know
Dead.
that she was
I
a
love
dame.
her.
Despite their differences in looks, Keira Knightley, Juliet, is only 5 years older than Thomas Brody Sangster, Sam, in real life. That's the boy, I believe. She's only 5 years older than the little boy.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Hugh Grant hated the dancing scene because he didn't think a prime minister would do something like that. And everyone else said, and we didn't think a prime minister would look like Hugh Grant.
Same. But
Or-
okay.
Or get caught making out with somebody at the end of a play.
Mm-hmm.
Adorable.
Or
And
apparently
finally-
backstage at a large gathering without a security guard.
Yes, that too. And finally, this was the most rented DVD in the UK in the entire year of 2004.
Wow.
Wait, so is this 2003 or 2004?
3.
Well, the DVD was 2004. The movie
Yeah.
was 2003.
So yeah, Keira Knightley was 17 in 2003.
Yes, she was quite young in this movie.
Yep.
And now she's only 14. It's weird how Hollywood works.
Yeah.
Well, she's Benjamin Button.
Yes. So those are the freaky facts for this evening.
Interesting.
All right. Well, then, yeah, let's hear what people thought. Let's hear You could go some thoughts, and we'll go with what people's scores are. Oh, and apparently John loves Laura Linney. So, in case you wanted to know.
Well, there you go. I heard a whisper.
He actually loves Laura Linney.
Yeah, Love Actually. Yeah.
We're gonna do that a lot tonight. Is that gonna be the thing?
Actually, no. Literally, it's gonna be Love Literally. Is what we're
Love
doing.
literally.
All right. So we're gonna actually just jump to ratings. Is that what you want to do?
Let's just rate and talk about it at the same time.
The EriDan rating bot 6000. EriDan rating 6000. EriDan now activated.
All right, so we will do the big. I guess I'll be first since I did pick the movie.
It is your movie,
and I've got my picture I took of the martini beforehand, and we'll do the effects.
You really haven't done much with that martini yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, I only saw this movie for the first time last year, so that would have been if it came out in 2003. What was it? 17 years. It took me to finally see this movie, and I did like it. I do like movies where you have a bunch of different storylines and you're trying to figure out how are these related somehow, and then all of a sudden they're related. There's a name for that. And I forget what it is. Dave, you probably know. No, not anthology. Is it anthology? No, it's not anthology. There's a name for it, but anyway, I do like it, and I'm going to give it a 91.
Okay.
See
Wow.
how simple that was?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so huge.
He plumpy.
Plumpy.
Lumpy.
Man,
Man, did her character get dumped on in this? It's like, how many people commented about her big thighs and man? It's an excellent movie. I mean, is it perfect? No. Its biggest crime is a lot of movies tried to be it later that weren't nearly as good, and that's not its fault. The casting is excellent. I mean, an excellent British cast. Tricky to cast. The screenwriter. I mean, you had what is his name? Richard Curtis has written an amazing string of hit movies and TV shows. He wrote About Time. He directed About Time. He wrote for Blackadder and Mr. Bean, which is probably why Rowan Atkinson was in this. He wrote Bridget Jones' Diary, the screenplay for that. Recently, he wrote Yesterday. So he's all over the map. Tremendously successful screenwriter.
Just wrote that. I thought that was Palmer.
I counted 9 different storylines that are interweaving. I'm not counting really minor ones like Rowan Atkinson's character, but 9 different storylines, reasonably well and coherently presented. I don't think, even seeing it for the first time, I don't think you ever got lost about what was going on. I don't think it was too hard to keep track of the different storylines. And I like the fact that they weren't all storybook endings. I'm trying to remember who. I had an argument with someone a year or two ago, a disagreement about the Laura Linney storyline. Because I was saying it is in its own way a love story. It's a love story between her and her brother. It's a love story that's complicated. It's a love story that maybe she would not have chosen. But family is just as much a love story as romantic love. And the sacrifices she makes for her brother, willingly, if with regret, I think is tremendously presented in this. And I really appreciated that it's not all just the boy gets the girl at the end in every single storyline. You know, the exact opposite storyline is the guy going to America and getting all the hot babes. You know, that's the fantasy storyline.
I thought he was dreaming during that part, for real.
So
I was like, oh, nope, he didn't wake up.
Yeah, it's, you know, and my favorite, though, I will say, I discovered one thing, and I don't know how I'd missed it. One thing I missed about this movie until this seeing of it, and I don't know how it had escaped me, that Claudia Schiffer played Carol. And I had never noticed that before. That the fantasy, you know, that his wife told him to bring to her funeral, and that he had this basically, you know, if Claudia Schiffer shows up,
right,
and then the woman who shows up is Claudia Schiffer, and she was paid $100,000 for that cameo.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Dang.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm not as huge a fan of it as some people, but I really do like it, and I think it's well handled, and I give it an 89.
Wow. Thanks. Love.
You're muted, Dan, I think.
I didn't say anything that important.
Oh, okay. You're just mouthing.
I just said missed it by that much because you were off by one from where I was. That's all.
Let's see. Well, what I liked about this movie was the cast. Fabulous. Hugh Grant.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
Alan
Jerry Garcia.
Liam Neeson.
Good.
The other
Liam
guy.
Neeson.
I can't remember his name. Colin Firth.
Oh yeah.
I love them all. Watching it this time, I had told Reagan there are going to be parts of this movie you don't like. I didn't realize it was the very first scene. And then every 10 minutes after that.
She didn't feel it in her fingers and her toes?
Oh my God.
I don't even
Well,
know what that
no, not
means.
that.
I blacked it out. Okay.
Because that was the first scene.
Yeah, you're right. It was the second one then. The second storyline.
Okay.
Oh.
With the British office guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Martin
The,
Freeman.
the people that were
porn
extras in a
movie
porn movie.
was horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid.
But it was
That
funny
brought
that.
my
But
score
wasn't
way
it funny
down.
the way they were having the conversation? Like it was just like no, it's like that's their job. They're like, so what are you doing? Oh, I have to show her boob a little bit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seemed kind of.
That was funny the first time I saw it, which was almost 20 years ago.
That's shocking.
And now I'm like, I am too old for this.
I'm 22 and I agree.
So that brought my score way down.
Oh my
because-
stars.
Yeah, oh my stars.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh my stars. That's how I felt about it.
Watching it with her dad and her mom.
I wasn't
That's a real no-no.
I was just
Yeah,
disgusted.
that would be the problem. That might be the problem.
No, that is. She's just disgusted by that.
I would have turned it off if I watched it by myself.
Yeah, she probably
I'm
wouldn't
not
have
gonna
finished
lie.
watching it.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, but I always enjoy the Hugh Grant storyline of him being the prime minister, and that he's Emma Thompson's brother, and her big brother. What? That would to hear that, I'm like, no, he's younger, because I think of her as older, but whatever, and she really is. But I love her and I love him, and I just like their relationship, and I loved her storyline with Alan Rickman. I loved that they didn't get back together. Didn't love it so much a few years ago when I watched it before. I'm like, oh, that's really sad, but it makes sense. Like, not everything is perfect. So, but my score is pretty low because I didn't enjoy it this time anymore. It's just not Christmassy enough to me. But I do like that Christmas is in it. And my score is actually a 68.
Whoa. That might be one of Stacy's lowest scores since Lost in Translation.
And it's really sad because it has so many great actors in it.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of good actors in it, and
No airplanes.
there was airports, but
There
it's close.
were some airplanes. Yeah, it's close.
So, anyways, so I'm just gonna go out. I'll give it an 80.
Boobs.
Yeah, well, that too.
I like Stacy's.
They're gonna have a talk.
That was a great double take.
That was like a triple take. You might have hurt your neck on that one.
Good thing you weren't drinking when you heard that.
Record too. Jeez.
Wowzers.
Oh, Reagan will balance it out. Go ahead.
You're right. Yeah, so
It's a 4.
Kinda.
Just remember, it is still a movie.
It's more in Adam's range this time around. Yeah, I don't know. I like the same thing. Like I really like all of the actors. I knew most of them too, so I was like, okay, cool. And Keira Knightley, like I loved Keira Knightley since she was in Pirates of the Caribbean. But I don't know, like I agree with Dave. I think it made sense to have so many. But they didn't make sense because there were too many. Like I know what they were trying to do with it. I don't know. I just think that they could have focused better on specific ones if they didn't have stuff like Colin Firth and this random girl that they somehow understand each other but don't understand each other's languages.
That line. All right, good.
It didn't make any sense to me. I was like, if you don't speak her language and she doesn't speak yours, why do you know what's happening? It didn't make any sense. I don't know. So like that didn't make sense. Obviously, the fake porn stars were weird. I understand what Dan is saying by why it was funny. I just didn't appreciate it at all. I was like, I don't want to watch this happen. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but stop. Like, don't go into that industry. But yeah, like that kind of stuff. I don't know. There was just too much of that happening. The only thing that I actually liked was Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman, and I also liked Hugh Grant's character as well. But I liked Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman because I like them the most out of everybody except for Keira Knightley. And I didn't ever see Alan Rickman move his face until yesterday. I was really surprised. Like, they were in the mall for some reason. I don't know what he was doing, but he like made this face, and I was like, "What?" Like, because I've always seen him as Snape, and he's always been like deadpan, like his eyes were like, I don't know. It was so weird, and I was like, "Okay."
She should never have trusted a Slytherin.
That's right.
See, you should know. You should
She
very.
was in that movie. She should understand. Like, she was a teacher. But I don't know. There was too much happening and too much stuff that I didn't appreciate. So it overshadows the Alan Rickman, Emma Thompson, and Hugh Grant. So I think I'm more of like a 60.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
At least it passed. It's a D, but it passed.
Yeah.
Oh man. This was my first time watching this movie. I had no idea what it was at all going into it. And I am also somebody that, like, I won't watch Game of Thrones because there's nudity. And I'm really mad about that because Game of Thrones, let me clarify, there's very aggressive soft porn in Game of Thrones. From what I hear, I haven't seen anything, so I'm just putting, whatever. And I just don't, I just think that nudity in movies is just to get people to watch. I don't know. I understood it. It was kind of funny. I probably thought it was more funny than other people have so far, but I was also like, this is really dumb. Like unnecessary. It's like, I get it. It was funny. There were a couple spots in the movie that hit home for me that I wasn't very appreciative of. But it was an okay time watching it by myself.
You went to Minnesota and found a bunch of hot babes? Is that
no? Listen. Cheers to that.
Something?
No, I'm just kidding. But overall, I the whole time I was watching this, I thought about it. I was like, if this was on TV, would I sit down and watch it? Because that's kind of like where I'm trying to base my ratings off of to start, like to base it off of. And I genuinely feel that if that movie was on TV, I'd probably still watch it.
Well, there wouldn't be nudity. If it was on broadcast, they would have edited that out.
There you go. More of a reason to watch it.
Might be a totally different movie that way.
It could be. But I genuinely enjoyed a very large portion of it, more than I expected to, being an older movie, which I shouldn't even say that because I watched It's a Wonderful Life, and that was different too.
An older movie from 2003.
Listen, I know. I'm processing. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that.
18 years ago.
I know. It's almost, never mind. But I processed through. I would probably watch that if it was on TV. I would probably sit down and enjoy it because I thought it was really well done. I thought, just like Dave said, I think that they put the story, like, and Reagan disagreed, but I think that I followed the stories very, very well throughout most of it.
Yeah.
And when certain things crossed, I was like, oh snap. Like when she saw him behind the play and like hugged him and she was like, this is my brother. I was like, oh my gosh. And then like, just, it was wild. And then the one girl, the nerdy office kid, loved the one lady that wound up having an affair with the guy, Mr. Snape. And it was just, but I followed it all, which I was impressed with.
Yeah, he didn't go to school. He didn't get his doctorate to be called Mr.
Whatever. But I enjoyed it. So to lower my rant down, I'm probably going to give this movie a 90.
Oh my, wow.
Nice.
Wow.
90 to me is the lowest number that I would consider if it's on TV. I'm watching it. Like 90's
I get that
where it goes.
All right, we don't have a score from Adam yet. I see John's in the comments.
From anybody in the comments yet to share their scores. So of course you're welcome to do that as I give my little rant here. I love this. This is fantastic. Nobody else mentioned this at all, but I cried every time I watched this.
Wow.
I said I got emotional, or maybe I didn't say that.
Emotional movie. It is a wonderful roller coaster. Is
there any specific storyline that makes you cry, or just multiple?
It's just multiples, right?
The kid.
But honestly, for me, the one that Reagan hates the most is I love the story of the two that can't speak each other's languages. I love that. And then he goes and he proposes and just great. And so I did
you started Debbie Gibson song.
So yes, I ended up at a 92.
Ooh.
Oh, so take and then
what the what?
Yes, Tammy.
Wow, Tammy in the comments, not
Really?
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tammy rating for the first time for quite some time comes out with a harsh score of 50. We haven't heard from Tammy since since while you were sleeping.
Wow.
But she liked a lot more than that. So since May, we have not heard a score from Tammy. But Tammy 50 for that one.
And Hans Gruber's in it, so it'll be nice and give it a 54. So Adam's not the lowest score. And that's all I'll say because it's my movie. I did not make the movie.
Wow.
You didn't even have your arm in it.
No, I'm not an extra. I didn't even know about this movie. Tammy, not a big fan. Okay, that happens.
There you go. So yeah, I'm not going to bring up a quick graphic. I will bring up last week's graphics, and I'll tell you where this lands up, unless we get somebody else who wants to throw out a score.
I did like the women from Minnesota because you had Denise Richards, you had Elisha Cuthbert, you had January Jones. I mean, they were really.
Wasn't the one chick from the Girl Next Door or whatever?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Elisha Cuthbert. Yeah.
I didn't know her name.
From
I don't know
24.
actors.
Yes, I know her from 24.
Jack Bauer's daughter.
That's when I knew it turned into a train wreck right there.
I should give it another point because there was a girl from Chuck in that part. Her name was Elsa Tranquina.
Oh, yeah, she
That's who she was.
Okay.
I was hyped for 2 seconds.
All right. So last week, if Dan can take away the score
hold
thing.
on a second.
Last week, Home Alone ended up with an 86. It's a Wonderful Life an 84. Love Actually did not get a lot of love. Actually, ended up at a 74.89.
Oh, just beating out 127 hours.
Yes, just barely.
Yeah, 127.
Unless somebody else votes.
To be in the third row, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we got a lot of movies. I mean, we're
want
not
to be on the other page.
all the way down here.
One interesting thing about this, because you had very serious storylines like Laura Linney's.
Yeah.
And even to a degree, Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson's relationship. And yet in that same storyline with Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson, Mia was so over the top evil, like dark corners for doing dark deeds. She was played almost like a cartoon character. It was really.
Yeah.
She reminded me of the Office girl from Bruce Almighty. It was like the same exact thing.
Anything you want, you can have it.
And I will say, in this movie, the kid's storyline is fantastic.
It is.
Liam Neeson and the relationship between
that is a beautiful relationship between stepdad and stepson. I did love that. Yeah.
That one teared me up. That's the one that teared me up the most.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
is when he got Now, since we have a lot of people watching right now, I'm going to do my surprise now.
All right, you do surprise now. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh wait, Cody.
I have one thing. I was talking to a friend about this movie, and I just wanted to share what she said because it also brought me back to a moment. I would talk to her after I watched it, and she said, I think one of my favorite parts is when Hugh Grant and his driver go caroling to find his secretary's house, and then Hugh's face when the driver started singing.
Was the snowy roundabout?
It was so. He was like, "Oh, you can sing."
Christmas is.
That's all I had to say. Okay, I'm done.
All right, so I have a little video I'd like to put up for everybody. Oh wait, I wasn't ready to start it yet.
It just starts.
It just starts. I forgot that.
It just starts.
I'll back it up. All right.
Nobody saw it.
And the way to play videos is so cool now. Because it used to be you have to download it and I'd have to have it in the system and Eric might see it. Like Eric doesn't even know about this.
I have no idea.
Literally, other than my wife and son, nobody knows about this.
Oh.
I did mention to Adam that I had something exciting, and I mentioned to Mike Menza, who said he might pop in and say hello. Because he hasn't been on the show in a long time, but he rated a ton of our movies.
Since Princess Bride.
But this is something that I'm very excited about. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
congratulations on your
Yeah.
100th
freaking way!
movie review. The EriDan Film Festival is, well, I don't know, it's one of my favorites, so what can I say? Thank you for all you do. You rule. Even if you give me a bad review, I think it's cool. I mean, you know, we all have a right to
Howard
our
the Duck.
opinion, but I don't know. Since you did a Howard the Duck review, I imagine it wasn't good. Although, maybe it was. Who knows? Anyway, you have a wheel of reels and you spin each week to pick a movie for next week? What a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Lots of love. Take care and congratulations. That's quite a milestone. And remember, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, especially if you wear purple Calvin Klein underwear.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Oh, that was spectacular.
So she was the only reason I watched Howard the Duck in the first place.
Yeah, most people.
Yeah.
That's
That
true.
was the only
We've watched multiple of her movies.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but she was numbered. I mean, literally the lowest rated, and for the
Wow.
longest time, the highest rated movie
Yep.
were both her.
It was bookends.
Wow.
It bookended it, and on Cyber Monday, I got an email from Cameo saying we have specials if you can be one of the first 15 people, and I think it was like $50 if you're one of the first 15 people.
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
normally way more money. So I'm like, oh my god! And I'm like, I gotta find somebody on here that was in one of our movies. And she popped up. I was like, oh my god, that's perfect.
Great. That
So
was
I sent that
amazing.
in, and I
That's
edited the little
clutch.
thing on the front and
That's
cropped out the Cameo logo. But other than that,
amazing.
so
Wow.
we'll post that on the page too for anybody that
Well
missed
done,
it.
Dan.
So thank you all for the 100 movies.
All right. So as we continue, every week we've been talking about people's favorites movies. And so tonight we're going to take a look at Adam's. Did we do Adam? We didn't do Adam's yet. No, we have not done Adam's top 10. So here comes Adam's top 10 favorites. Did we do this? I don't think we did. Did we do Adam's?
Yes.
Shawshank on
We
top.
did.
Maybe we did.
Wow, four-way tie for.
There's a 4-way tie in 10th place.
Yeah, I don't remember that, so we don't think we
So Adam with Shawshank, Austin Powers, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Star Trek, Goonies, Super Troopers, Aliens, Blade Runner, and a 4-way tie with Fletch, Iron Man.
The one that sticks out to me like a sore thumb is Goonies.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like all the considering Adam rates so many movies so low, and I'm like, how could you rate that so low? I like all these.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm kind of with
Like,
you.
there's nothing really on here. I mean, Super Troopers, I wasn't a huge fan of, but I don't hate it.
Oh, I hated it.
But that's pretty good.
I'm just saying it's pretty good. All right, and then Dave. We're gonna
Uh-oh.
look at Dave.
Don't buy drugs.
Top 10 movies that we've reviewed in 2021. The Apartment, The Princess Bride, Rear Window, Some Like It Hot. The
Well,
Snitch.
Room made it up there.
You know,
Yeah.
how about that Room sneaking in at 10?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you agree with this, Dave? You feel pretty.
Where's Spinal Tap?
Huh?
Yeah, I thought you
Where's
gave Spinal
Spinal
Tap.
Tap?
Didn't you give Spinal Tap 100?
I don't know. I gotta figure
Yeah,
it out.
I know I rated Spinal Tap higher than that. Some of those.
You did too. Well, something happened. You know,
This is not a scientific poll.
I'll review that. You're wrong there.
I demand a recount.
All right. Actually, you know what? That might be a mistake. So maybe Room got bumped down.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Get an
It's-
audit.
It's been a very busy week. I was desperately trying to get those. I will review those, and maybe we'll have a new one for Dave next week. So, all right. I said I don't want to share mine yet because I do think there's a good possibility we might no longer be streaming afterwards. So we should go and visit the Wheel of Real.
They won't kick you off YouTube for playing.
I did want to make one other comment about Love Actually. Is one other thing. One other storyline I found surprisingly sweet was Bill Nighy's character, his relationship with his manager of all those years. The way that ended with him just saying, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm just going to spend time with you. And it was just very touching. It was really nicely done. And very surprising after the way they had built his character as this over-the-hill rock star trying to grasp at a last bite of glory. And then for him to just come back and realize, I got one real friend in the world. I'm going to spend time with you. That was very nice.
Yeah.
I also loved when the guy in the radio station doesn't realize he's sitting there. And he's like, oh, look at this has-been or whatever he said. And then he goes, oh, and he's up next. He's here live. Okay. The old CYA. Cover your AF. All right.
All right. Are we doing this?
Are you going to do the little thing?
Let's do it.
Ho, ho, ho! Feliz Navidad.
All right, of course, the holiday Wheel of Reels. So if you you know how we're doing this. So if you don't have a space on the wheel, and you have not had a movie picked for the wheel, you could suggest a movie to add to the wheel. But if you've already had your movie chosen, or you already have a space on the wheel, you get to keep your space on the wheel.
By the way, I just want to share, we used the picker wheel on Friday night for the comedy show.
Yeah.
To select the order that the comedians will be showing up in.
Nice.
And it probably got the biggest laugh of the night, which is sad in a way. It just people sitting in a movie theater see something on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot funnier than the little person standing down on the stage.
Now here's my question. So do we know if Dan's mother and Cody's mother are here watching? Are they watching in the comments?
My mom may not be. I know she had a thing, but she might tune in.
Same.
And Jeff Michael wants to know if he can suggest a movie about wheels.
Well,
is it Christmas Wheels?
It's got to be Christmas.
Well,
Wheels.
you can,
Related
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a holiday movie about transportation.
See, there you go. So Jeff, you can certainly suggest that. So yeah, Jeff, so as long as you're committing to being here next week, at least in the comments, you don't have to be on the show if you don't want to be video, but anybody can put a slot on the wheel for, he says bingo. So I'm guessing, he wants
automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. All right.
Maybe that's his thing. I'm guessing you're probably right.
All right.
Well, say hi to your wife for me. I haven't seen her for a while.
Which Jeff Michael is that though? We know two Jeff Michaels.
Oh, is it not Jeff Michaels from?
There's one from Blackhawk and there's one from Geneva. Is there not?
I think that's Geneva.
The Polar Express takes place on a train. It has wheels.
Well, if this Jeff is married to Kathy, say hey for me.
Well, he can still say hi to his wife.
Either way, say hi to your wife, Jeff.
Yeah,
I don't know her.
All right, so we're leaving all the spaces on the wheel. See, I told you that was Jeff from Geneva. Geneva Jeff.
Wrong one.
So no, he's the right one.
Remember, by the way, next week, 6 p.m., 9 p.m.
All right.
Let me update my calendar.
So Cody, do you believe that your mother will be present next week if her movie was to be chosen?
Oh, if her movie was chosen, absolutely.
Now, Tammy says yes to Polar Express. That means, Tammy, you have to be on the show next week. Or not on the show, but at least in the comments.
I think she's committing.
I think you're committing, Tammy. And then Jeff
I
Michael
was
says,
talking to the wrong Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff.
wrong one, but that's okay. He said he is married. If he's married to Kathy, he's completely unaware.
Okay. Yeah, especially since he spelled it wrong.
Surprise!
He
Guy.
was married to Kathy, but he bought this necklace for some other girl.
Oh my Lanta.
He was married to Kathy, but his best friend was in love with Kathy. So.
Oh, and then she kissed. Oh, that's so terrible.
And they changed the lyrics and put Christmas where it wasn't supposed to be.
Listen, how did first off,
Lovely.
how did he believe that soundtrack was Carolers? Because that's bullcrap.
Well, yeah, it had an accompaniment to it.
He's going to rescind his suggestion. He might not be able to be here next week.
I have removed
Well,
him.
we can see if it gets picked or not.
Yeah, just uncheck it for. Oh, that's true. Just see if it comes up.
Well, that's true too. But then we need to know if he's going to be here the following.
Oh, that's not even bothering.
If he's here next week, then he can put it back on the wheel for that.
All right.
Because we'll only have, we'll have another one. Are we ready for this? I think we're ready. Anybody?
And again, I think we're ready. But again, don't forget, 6 p.m., 9 p.m.
The scariest part of the show.
I'm doing a shuffle.
You know, you can do different music on this, by the way.
Ominous music.
Oh, he did not.
I don't think I thought music coming through, but apparently not. It looks like.
Oh, the holiday. My mom will be so happy.
Wow, how about that? I've never seen that.
Oh, hey. My mother likes this movie, and my mother doesn't like very many movies. So
I don't
really,
like anything actually. So yeah.
Wow.
It only has one thing going against it, really, which is I really can't stomach Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
All right. Well,
Well, we'll find out if any of us can stomach Cameron Diaz next week. I don't think we've had a Cameron Diaz appearance.
No, we haven't.
Well,
There's something about Cameron.
And I've not heard about that movie before either. Something about Cameron. Okay. Well, what now, Dan?
Well, I spelled next with two X's or two T's. I mean,
We are flying here through the show. We are making record time here on our show.
We are. Well, we had the special. I could replay the special thing later for anybody that missed it, but no.
That's true. Just to kill time. Well, I mean,
Adam immediately said, "Doesn't sound like an Adam movie."
I don't think.
I can guarantee it's not an Adam movie.
I think that is all right. So we want to talk about what else people are watching. I think that we will have a lot of conversation after my surprise. Perhaps, maybe not. Maybe there won't be any, just stunned silence. But my surprise doesn't match up to Dan's. Mine is more of a entertainment thing. Dan's is a genuine surprise. That was awesome. But I do fear that there's a 60% chance that we won't be streaming anymore. So in order to avoid that, we will talk about what else people have been watching. And I will say again, if you're not watching Hawkeye, watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, I've got to get caught up.
You watched it again.
I'll get to it someday.
I would
probably after the holidays.
So good. It's so good.
Is it?
Yes.
Here's something I'm not watching, but I'm listening to, and it's forced me to watch things. I'm listening to Mel Brooks' autobiography as read by Mel Brooks.
Oh,
wow. It is unfreaking believable.
Cool.
I just recently dug out my 2,000-year-old man CDs and plan to listen to those in the near future.
Oh my God, he is so. Just hearing the story all the way back from, his dad died when he was a really young kid, and he was the baby of the family, and just how he got into comedy and writing for the Sid Caesar show. And I forget how big Sid Caesar was. I mean, he was
huge.
He was like the Seinfeld of his day. I mean, he was like the biggest TV star. I just think of him as Coach Calhoun from Greece. Long distance running. But yeah, so I was going to watch them all in order, but the only free one that's out there right now so far is Blazing Saddles.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God, is it racist?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The N-word is said more times in that movie than a Chris Rock special.
Wow.
Or a Richard Pryor. And now Richard Pryor actually was a writer on the movie. A lot of people, I didn't remember that. Richard Pryor wrote Blazing Saddles. He was one of the 4 or 5 writers.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to star in it, and they said, nope, the network wouldn't let him.
No.
But my favorite thing about Mel Brooks was there's a point where the network says, all right, you can't do a movie with the N-word. You got to take that out. He goes, done. Don't worry about it. You can't punch a horse. Oh, of course not. What was I thinking? I'll take it out. And they have all this stuff you can't do. Of course we won't do. You can't hang. Of course we won't do any of that. And he didn't remove any of it. He kept all of it in the movie. It was a huge hit. And from that point on, the studios really never gave him notes again. Like, just do whatever you want.
Wow.
Had the most flatulence of any movie I'm familiar with.
Oh, that's what it was too. Yeah, you can't have that much farting in the movie. You're eating beans around a fireplace, about a fire in the middle of nowhere. You have to fart. How could you not be farting?
I remember when that came out. My family lived in Columbiana, and I was pretty little, and I remember them punching that horse. And every time I saw that commercial, I was so upset.
Well, I guarantee you, Peter was upset with that too.
Yeah, I think I was in 1st or 2nd grade, based on where I lived. So.
I enjoyed it. It's far from my favorite Brooks movie, but I really enjoy it. I mean, the producers, Young Frankenstein. There's other ones of his that I really enjoy more. But
History of the World Part 2 is coming out finally. They're finally working on that. I'm only up to just past. I haven't even finished the book yet, but I'm to the point of where he created Brooks Films, because he wanted to do serious movies because his wife Anne Bancroft wanted to do some serious movies. So they did The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
They did The Fly. Like he discovered. Yes.
Flies.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum was discovered. Fellow Pittsburgher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so lucky.
Anybody else weirded out that it looks like Leah Thompson is in our chat? You can't. I brought this up, but you can't see it because it's our face. There we go. I'm like,
oh, she's still down there. Oh, it's not showing on mine. That's funny.
And her name is Dan.
I'm like, wow, what's going on there?
Must have been some movie she watched.
She's trying to be a secret.
Hold on. Let's here, Eric.
Stop
Do it
it.
again. I'm gonna fix it. There we go. All right. See if you can pull that up again.
Well, no, because I did a screenshot.
Oh,
yeah, I did that. Yeah. It's a long way to go for this.
don't worry.
Now we won't worry about it. All right. Sorry. Amazing.
All I can say about Cameo is it's like slightly famous person, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them. Slightly famous person, never heard of, they're still alive, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them. Sports figure I'm not familiar with, never heard of them, never heard of them. There are a ton of YouTube and TikTok stars that are charging like ridiculous money.
Oh, sure.
To be on if you want to have them read something to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to strike while you got to strike while the iron's hot. Who's got more disposable income than 12-year-olds?
Right. 12-year-olds' parents.
Yeah, who's got access to the parents' credit cards more than 12-year-olds?
If you want Charlie D'Amelio to leave you a message.
Charlie or Carly?
Charlie.
Is it Charlie?
It's Charlie.
I did not know that.
I might be making that up.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Anybody else been watching anything? Nothing?
We've been watching Hawkeye. Reagan's watching
Nice.
surfing.
Yeah, we were watching a surfing competition in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It was pretty mild down there.
Surfing or burping? What am I saying?
Surfing.
Had no time.
Okay, God, it's better.
Now, the
Same
waves
thing.
on Lake Erie on Saturday were pretty impressive.
Oh yeah.
Really?
9 feet high.
Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
How did your show go, Dan?
Yeah, tell us about the show. Adam clearly watched Dan's show.
Adam was there, front and center, and if I would have bet money that people would have made fun of Adam's beard, I would have lost. And I didn't, and the other 4 comedians, no one even mentioned it.
They were classy.
They must have thought he was a Robertson, huh?
I don't know what it was. There were a lot of people that it was weird because they had the seats all spaced out for COVID. So they had every time if somebody bought 2 tickets, they blocked the seats on either side of them. So you're never sitting beside a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently COVID doesn't go vertically, it only goes horizontally.
Right, exactly.
But everybody had to be masked, everybody had to be vaxxed to even get in. And it was pretty close to a sellout, but we had a lot of people. I had a couple of friends that couldn't make it because there a few weird things happened. And they were like, these weird last minute emergencies, which I was like, really? And then it actually did happen. So other than that, on Thursday night, we went out to dinner and I had this crazy idea. I said to my wife, because she's like, some friends are going to go out to dinner beforehand. Where, do you want to join us? I'm like, I don't like to go out before the show. I go out after the show. And she's like, well, nobody's open. I'm like, you're right. Bainbridge closes at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the show wouldn't be over till 9:30, 9:45. And our neighbor, and Lucia has been on here a few times. Her husband, David, is a chef, and they own the Madison Diner right next door to the theater. So I texted him. I said, hey, I know it's last minute, but any chance you'd open to do a late night menu for us? And he called me. He's like, abso-freaking-lutely. Let's do it. We only had about 12 people go afterwards, but Rafi was there, which was awesome. Adam was there. And as Adam says, the food was great.
Oh, good.
A couple other people from the show, a guy named Dan Lindquist, who's on Clutch Radio all the time, who we had never met in person. Rafi only knew him online. He drove up from Portland to come to the show. Drove 300 miles almost.
Wow.
Not 300 miles, 3 hours. So like 100 miles. 180 miles, whatever it is.
No, Friday.
But he came to the show, and the food was fantastic. And so we're gonna do another show probably in February.
Nice.
And I think that we'll plan it a little better so that people will know ahead of time. Don't eat before the show. Come out and hang out with us after the show. Because Eric, even you remember, we used to go to Eaton Park after we would go to the Funny Bone.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Steak salads at the Eaton Park.
Yes. There's nothing better after a show. And as Jackie Mason says, the Gentiles after the show, they want to get a drink. The Jews, they want to get something to eat. So yes, I had to get something to eat.
Absolutely, got to eat.
The adrenaline is pumping. My mom just said, yay. She's texted.
Oh, nice.
Adam says he'll be there next time in front row or second row.
Maybe both. Maybe he'll sell out the first 2 rows. All right, so let's do this.
If we get kicked off, we get kicked off.
If we get kicked off, I apologize for anybody who's watching. We'll figure out what we're gonna do if that.
We'll just go back on. We'll start a new stream.
Yeah, we'll come back on with a new.
Have you guys gotten kicked off before?
Yes.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the views go to 0. We're like, oh.
The copyright bots are searching all the time and listening all the time.
Huh.
Watch out. So we've watched 100 movies. Anybody have a wild guess, or maybe you guys know how long it would take to watch all 100 movies that we watched?
We figure they average about 2 hours a movie.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so I figured this out.
200 hours?
I actually figured this out. Just slightly over 7 days.
Wow. Reagan says so. A week.
Yep.
So I have a little something that I put together, and I'm really praying that StreamYard is going to play this okay. And so get comfortable though, because it's slightly over 7 minutes. We'll see how this goes.
Joe versus the volcano.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
You just have to leave a deposit.
How much is that?
$2 million.
What's wrong, dude? You yellow!
You do. I'll let her die.
Second time! Second time!
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Fuck off, Hitler.
Oh my god.
Maybe this will help. You don't think I should?
Does this look like gub or gun?
I know what you can't say. You want to get laid.
Once I'd like to do it without checking the apartment first.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Yes!
What are you doing? I'm talking to myself.
But don't talk so loud.
Maybe if I look more like this fake bullshit couple. Looks like they're in a
Sexiest man in America.
I think I would
Yeah.
like you, Mrs. Coleman.
And Gene Hackman.
Doctor.
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 And doctor. Well, did we miss anyone?
Bueller.
Full time.
Look how young he was.
I know.
Bueller.
He's sick.
With your eyes so blue.
Is that Adam?
There are 2 L's in silver, according to
I saw that too.
I see why I like it.
That was making it too. Yes.
Oh, jam the radar.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
I'd love to help you, man, but I ain't seen nothing since I stepped on that landmine in Viet Cong back in '72.
Push the button, Max.
From
me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info.
This is gonna be fun. Now the only thing missing is Charo.
What a tie-in.
Yeah, really.
It's fast.
If you want to keep all that money, give it to your wife.
Why would you eat that?
Why? Yeah, because it tastes good.
But it's not good for you.
I'm aware of that.
You know that the average New Yorker between the ages of 20 and 50 has 2.5 colds a year.
That makes me feel just terrible.
Apple, did you know that 3% of all fatal accidents in the United States happen in corner drugstores?
I'm also just a girl. Standing in front of a boy. Asking him to love her.
I'm a man. Well, nobody's perfect.
Make me believe it! Yes, yes, yes!
As an actor once, damn it, now look at me. Look at me! I can't go out there and I won't say that stupid line.
Why? You get the drink from the
Oh.
fire hose!
McFly, you bojo! Don't burst don't work on water!
Well, if you intend to represent Big Creek, you're going to have to be enrolled as a student.
Yay, Hoosiers.
Either very smart or incredibly stupid.
Is that your underwear?
Part of it.
Okay, you're on, Mr. Popular.
Here I've waited my whole life for you, and now you don't even want me.
And she never asked me any question. We got a big setup because she never opened the mouth there, but she never shut up after the marriage.
It's really dust for vomit.
Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This ain't happening.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I do hope you keep me in mind for any future game nights.
Recharge!
Who dropped a penny?
There you go.
Way to end it.
And that's what you end it with?
Wait, how better could you end it?
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
And viewership went up, so they didn't kick us off. That's
There you go. How about
Yeah, that's great.
through? How about
now it
that?
might get blocked later for copyright infringement.
You know, I
Like
when
90 of them.
I uploaded it to YouTube, and while there was a copyright claim, they let it stay on. So I was curious.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
You just can't monetize it. That's what they'll say.
right. Exactly.
Like we're monetized. You need 1,000 subscribers. We're not even close. Tell your friends. We need more subscribers to all of our channels at the EriDan.
Yeah, but you got Leah Thompson.
We got Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
So I will upload
We can
that.
watch her again. I wasn't. I was starstruck. I didn't really pay attention to what she said.
I thought she was on it first. I'm like, are you kidding?
We can do it one more time. We can fast forward past that part.
Did you have to do it for a business one, or did you just do a personal one?
It was personal.
Interesting.
You
Hey,
can look for
Eric and
yourself.
Dan, congratulations on your 100th movie review. The EriDan Film Festival is, well, I don't know, it's one of my favorites, so what can I say? Thank you for all you do. You rule. Even if you give me a bad review, I think it's cool.
What's this
I mean,
voice?
you know,
I didn't
we all have
understand
a
this
right to our
part.
opinion, but I don't know. Since you did a
Probably
Howard
high.
the Duck review, I imagine it wasn't good. Although, maybe it was. Who knows?
It wasn't.
Anyway, you have a wheel of
Who
reels
knows?
and you spin each
you'd
week
watched.
to pick a movie for next week? What a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Lots of love. Take care and congratulations. That's quite a milestone. And remember, If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything, especially if you wear purple Calvin Klein underwear. That's all I have to say.
So my question is, no Caroline in the City reference?
Yeah.
Maybe that voice was a Caroline in the City.
Oh, maybe that's what that was from.
Yeah.
I loved that show too. We used to watch
Yeah, that's
that
pretty
every
funny.
week. That was a good show.
Good stuff.
See, my favorite part about that video was the purple underwear comment because it was Ken's favorite movie before I had watched Back to the Future.
She's in a Hallmark Christmas movie this year.
But as a joke, I told my brother, he said that he knew something about movies because usually if I watch a movie, I know everything about it afterwards. So I joked about him and I was like, "Oh yeah, what color are his underwear?" And he goes, "Purple." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, that was kind of Kent's first obsessed movie.
Yeah.
An adult movie. Like,
Well, the one thing I got to say though is she definitely has not aged the way they thought she was going.
No.
Thank
no.
goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah. That's how people used to age, though, because it's serious. If this was 30 years ago,
that's really funny.
That's true. That would be her at 40. I mean, she's
The
older than
fake
that now.
jowls they put on her definitely,
Yeah.
she would have, because people didn't age well.
and the circles under her eyes.
And Botox
Yeah, well,
didn't
that was
exist
the
in
old.
80s.
Or not the old. What was that? What would you call
She looks good for being my age.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, if she was on the show, she'd be one of the oldest people on the show. Speaking of that, did anybody watch the Facts of Life and
No.
Different
Oh, no,
Strokes?
because everybody was older than a teenager. Jeez.
But what was funny was Blair was on. She sang the theme, and
Oh,
she
yeah?
looked younger than Jennifer Aniston, who was playing Blair.
It was kind of dumb. I was embarrassed for Jennifer Aniston when I saw that she was playing Blair. I
Yeah.
thought, what is the? There are young people who could do this.
Yeah, everybody was old. I mean, Kevin Hart did a really good Gary Coleman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's 2 ad-lib lines at the very end of each episode. And I'll spoil it because if you didn't see it, you probably won't. But Jennifer Aniston's feeding Jon Stewart's character, who has a beard because Jon Stewart didn't want to shave. Same with Kevin Hart. But he had a beard and he was playing this nerdy character. And she's feeding him something to eat. And she goes, "Don't worry, I'll be there for you." So her little friends dig in. And then Snoop Dogg played Willis's buddy. Terrence was his name. And at the end of the episode, Arnold Jackson says, "Why does Terrence smell like weed?" Which was not in the original episode.
No, because it was live and they just
Yeah. They're like, "Well, let's have some fun."
Well, see,
Apparently, Kimmel said that he had asked Kevin Hart 5 years ago on his show that if he ever did Different Strokes, would you play Arnold? And he said, "Sure." And so that's why it took 5 years.
I think it's a fun idea that they do it because it pays homage to the shows, and we saw part of the Jeffersons when they did that last year, and but I missed the other one, and
The All in the Family. Marissa Tomei was amazing as Edith Bunker.
I heard
She was
it
amazing.
and I was sorry I missed it because I did, but when we saw it was Jennifer Aniston, I went, you know what, no, I'm not going to do it.
It's much of a reach here.
So, but I think it's fun that they do it.
And it was Catherine Hahn from
Multiple
Wonder Vision. WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Wonder Vision.
Wonder Vision.
With a
And
soundtrack by the Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead Vision.
Tootie, I thought looked great too, in real life. Oh, we're getting some spam.
Really good stuff now.
Now we're getting spam. We've been on long enough.
Whoa!
Online strips without clothing, as opposed to stripping with clothing.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Yeah, so we have to go into Facebook now and remove comments.
Oh, yikes. So if you're on this too long, that starts to happen?
No, that's the first time I've seen that on Facebook. I've seen it on Twitch a few times.
Whenever Leah Thompson appears, an angel gets its wings, and
probably they only go after things that have copyright because they know that we can't make any money off of it. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Not really.
Let's go with that. Though. Why not? So we want to comment again that next week we'll be starting later.
9 o'clock, the holiday.
9 o'clock, and the movie will be The Holiday.
The Holiday.
And today, I believe, if you order by midnight, is the last day you can get guaranteed shipment by Christmas. It'll still be early, I'm sure. And Eric, I don't know if you've updated any new holiday.
I have not. I have not.
He was putting together that montage. He didn't have any time.
Maybe we could just put this up. The 100th movie.
No, that they will take that down.
Oh, that's right, because there's
Hugh Grant's in the middle of that.
You guys want to know what I'm getting on Thursday?
What's that,
buddy?
You want to know what I'm getting on Thursday?
Oh,
are you
No,
getting
you're not.
a PlayStation 5?
It's a fake.
No, it's a rocket
faking
box.
It's a real one.
Yeah, I bought it from a guy in Nigeria.
No, my buddy got it for me for my birthday. Well, I have to pay him back. Let me clarify.
But still, even if you pay for it, it's a good birthday gift.
Oh heck yeah! I don't have to. He's good at timing it and buying it online.
No, man, really, I bought it from PS5 on sale.scam.
He got it from Walmart.
.scam.
That's right. I think my daughter got hers from Walmart.
I
back in March.
was actually able to place an order for an OLED Switch this week on.
Ooh.
We were in the Nintendo store yesterday. In New
There's
York
a
City.
Nintendo store?
Yeah, in New York.
I've never been to New York.
Yeah.
In the city or
In the city, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Oh.
By the Lego store, right?
Yeah, it's fairly close to the M&M store. They have the Nintendo store. It used to be Nintendo World, and then they renamed it because they were also opening one in I think it was Tokyo. And yeah, they have. It's really not that huge, but they have some really cool stuff there.
To say,
Reagan's random knowledge of cities just blows my mind. Down the street from the trash can with the bubble gum sticker on it, right?
Yeah. Everybody's like,
heck?
yeah.
That's right near that homeless guy that's in the red scarf that sleeps on the grate. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's how I've been my whole life.
Does he still have those cat socks I gave him? What the heck?
wow. You're getting very
did you guys
personal.
go to see a show or were you there on business, Dave?
It was a family matter, but we were walking. We had some time in the afternoon, so my one daughter and I went to. Actually, we also ended up walking through Times Square, which is really neat because in a couple of weeks it's going to be an absolute madhouse, and it was amazingly crowded even just then. It was a Sunday night. It was really busy.
That's cool. That's
I got
good. It's crowded though.
I got a new monitor.
Wow, it's pretty.
I got a long monitor.
It is
Wow, that's very horizontal.
Yeah, I used to have the dual. And there's the camera looking at the camera, looking at the camera, looking at the camera.
Wow. Hall of Mirrors.
It is a beautiful monitor. I like the monitor.
It's a Samsung.